Juan. Taramela.
Juan. Yo, Juan, you know what I realized today? Speaking of Juan, I realized today, and it's actually perfect coincidence because we're talking about the that look. I realized today that your name is Joe Rogers.
Me?
Yeah,
Joe Rogers?
Joe Rogers. If you were to Americanize your name
Transform? Yeah.
incognito, you be Joe Rogers, no?
That's crazy.
That's why. See, that's why he.
There's a
That's why he was
connection.
on the.
Joseph Rogers.
That's
Joseph
why he
Rogers,
wanted
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers to fucking. That's why he's the big fan. That's his brother, man.
I knew anytime I hear Rogers in the show, I fucking choke up here.
No,
I get
Joe
nervous.
Rogers is sick. That's a sick name.
That is hard. Joe Rogers.
That
I'ma
as you
change
should
it.
should be a
introduce yourself
persona.
like that, like random. Was when you meet somebody and you don't want to give them too much time. Yeah, what's up? I'm
Right.
Joe Rogers. Sick.
And
Joe Rogers is hard,
and then
yo.
you
I like
clean up
that.
you clean up the accent a little bit like this and make sure you finish all your words.
I randomly I randomly throw on a southern accent, so maybe that's my name.
Oh,
I'll probably
yeah.
adapt that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe
that's dope.
Rogers. All right,
gotta
well,
have-
that's the best cold open in show history. So I'm here with Joe Rogers, and we got to come up with a name for you.
I told my kids yesterday my real name was Fred Martin.
Fred Martin.
Fred Martin.
Because I was doing voices and I was like, "What are you an actor?" My girl goes, "What are you an actor now?" And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, I've been playing this role the whole time. I'm not really Al Felix Martinez. I'm Fred Martin." And then I changed my voice
Fred
again.
Martin is sick.
And then
That's
they think I'm
crazy.
crazy. So
I got to get a
funny.
name like that though.
I mean, that's probably my
I
go-to.
actually already
Like
have a
that,
name
I guess
like
that would
That's
be
the
my
sad part
go-to.
is that's like my real name. I could just use my real name and that's it. Unfortunately, but here we go. We're gonna get into the football happenings, and I gotta take control because last week I didn't realize I was a guest on Football Dorks. I didn't know we were going back to Football Dorks. Football Dorks is fine. We could do Football Dorks. I just want to know. I want to know we're doing Football Dorks. So if we're gonna do, we got to do Football Dorks again today because we like to get into the ins and outs and the nuts and bolts and all the behind the scenes, right? Actually, first thing I want to do, and this is the mistake I made last week, but I'm gonna try it again. Do you? We know Word Life. We know you're a big Bill Belichick guy. It's your man. There's been a lot of conversation about Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I want to give you the floor to scold and chastise all of the voters if you want, whatever you got to say. We'd love to hear it.
No, I was shocked when I heard that shit, bro. My son came. I was like, "Yo, Bill Belichick not first ballot." I thought he was just asking me. I was, of course he is. He's like, "No, he's not." I was like, "Oh shit!" And like, he was officially a thing. Like, that's crazy to me. Am I alone on that one in the podcast? Like that? That's fucking nuts. Isn't he like the greatest football mind of our generation? Like, the fuck? Like, are we completely taking him out of the picture and just putting it all on fucking Brady and Kraft? If you even want to put it on Kraft? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it all Brady now? Like, we're there now as a...
Wait, whoa, hold on.
Because there was a whole debate about Brady or Belichick. Like, now it's
but
just...
maybe I have it twisted, but I was never under the impression that the reason why he didn't get the votes on the first ballot had anything to do with him and Brady. I thought it was more people who like the people in the voting base who just didn't like the guy and the way that he was with the media, and all of the suspensions and the cheating.
Right. But I'm just saying because of they go hand in hand, Brady and Belichick. I mean, the dynasty was them. Like, Brady's a first ballot Hall of Famer, fucking hands down. So
How do you know?
I mean, I would have. I would.
You would
I
have
mean,
said that. You would have said that 2 days ago about
right.
Belichick.
I said it about Belichick yesterday, literally, like
Okay,
yesterday. I
so
said it.
I
So
think
it's
we
just
gotta.
crazy to think that. No, you're right, but it's just crazy to think that they're not. That's basically my whole
Eh,
thing about it.
he's gotta wait 1 year for every Super Bowl that Tom Brady won without him. He's lucky that's
Yeah,
the only one he got.
yeah. I don't know. I'm
Well,
shocked. I was shocked
if
about it.
that's the math we're doing, he should have to wait an additional year for the fucking Patriots making it to the Super Bowl without him and Brady. The year after he leaves,
Right.
Yeah,
or 2
That's
years after he
crazy.
leaves.
2 years.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm just joking about that, but I mean, that's
No,
just
am
how
I
it is,
wrong
bro.
that it
Like,
was that I thought it was that was like personal shit. That was the Polian thing, and now we don't know if that's true. But I thought it was really the people that have beef with the Deflate Gate and with the Spy Gate and with the and just
yeah,
with
it's like,
him as a guy.
yeah. I mean, okay, when you read the credentials and all of that stuff, and the bona fides, right? It's absolutely ridiculous that he would not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But what happens is this is not it's not done by a checklist. So when you leave room for interpretation with people and people that hold vendettas and like when you have so many different people voting, it's like for you could have a person voting that Bill Belichick cut. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of the type of stuff, and like even like a reporter that he spited or something like that. It's just when you leave it up to interpretation, I guess it just kind of opens up the possibility for nonsense like this, which that shouldn't affect something like that. But I mean, he's gonna get in. I just feel like there's a little bit too much outrage. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's one is pretty. It's stupid that an owner can get in while he's still owning. Because if we're like Bill Belichick should have been already in the Hall of Fame. If we were to do it that way, like you already know what a Hall of Fame is. Tom Brady should be in the Hall of Fame already. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just certain things. It's like you already know that are a done deal.
Why should Tom Brady be in the Hall of Fame already? He hasn't been retired
Okay.
the proper amount of
No,
time.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just saying like that retirement shit is kind of stupid, and it kind of like, I mean, obviously it's a rule in all Hall of Fames or whatever, but it's just I'm comparing it to like Robert Kraft is still an owner, but he gets to go into the Hall of Fame. So like if we're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's there's too much stuff that people have to kind of that you're leaving room for stuff like even some of the people were saying that it might even be that Bob Kraft didn't want to go in the same day with Bill on the same ceremony as Bill Belichick because of the stuff that they have had documented after Bill Belichick left. And it's just like like that's all nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So like the whole thing with where you're leaving it up to certain people, not everybody feels a certain way on a personal level with some of these people, and it's just like too many conflicting too many conflicting things to have to deal with to be putting certain like guidelines on Hall of like on the Hall of Fame. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally don't care at all about any of this. I don't care about the Hall of Fame. I don't care about first ballot, second ballot. I don't care about like any of this stuff that gets voted on. I don't care about MVP. I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. Like I've given up on caring about all of that. So
Yeah.
I think for me it was really when DeMar Hamlin didn't win Comeback Player of the Year. To me, that's the ultimate that there will never be a bigger injustice in terms of voting for like sports accolades or awards, in my opinion, than coming back from the dead and not winning Comeback Player of the Year. To me, that's it. Like to me, how can I care about Bill Belichick not getting voted when a guy died and didn't win Comeback Player of the Year? I'm still upset about that.
Yeah, there's no bigger comeback than coming back from the dead.
Nah,
Yeah,
that
no,
shit
that's
was
what I'm
well
saying.
put,
Like
bro.
for me, once
And
that,
nigga, he's a
like,
zombie. He's basically a zombie playing football.
yeah, nah. To
That's
me, that was
crazy.
when I was like, why am I even getting invested in all of this stuff that is being voted on? And people just, I don't know what type of, their agendas, their biases, their whatever weird kind of goofy calculations they're doing to arrive at how they do these votes. I just don't care anymore. Like you said, Bill Belichick could get in. To tell you the truth, if he doesn't get in, who cares? Like I don't care because I don't care that much about the Hall of Fame. Like,
Mhm.
obviously I think he deserves to be in. Obviously I think if I had a vote, I would have voted for him. But at the same time, I got to be honest, he does have two unprecedented fucking suspensions for cheating the game on this. Like, if they're keeping steroids guys out of the Baseball Hall of Fame, I can't be shocked that a guy who was suspended twice for cheating didn't make it on the first ballot.
That's a fact.
Like,
And I mean,
that's facts.
you know
Yeah,
what's crazy?
good
And
point.
it's like, no, nobody who, no thief gets caught the first time he steals. No cheater gets caught the first time he cheats. Like, you know, I guess there's a lot of whispers and people that thought that they cheated more than what they actually did. Obviously, you can't prove that. It's like the steroids.
Well,
It's
the
like
thing
the
is, I'm
people
sure
who.
they cheated more. But then, to me, I shouldn't even say cheated. I just should say caught cheating, because then you'll have the other people that make the argument. Oh, well, everybody does it,
Everybody
and then
cheats,
people
yeah.
do other people do other things as cheating and pumping crowd noise, and other people videotape. It wasn't just the Patriots. Okay, then I'll throw all of that out. They got caught. That's why I was specific about him being suspended twice, because that's on record, right? So it's like that goes on the record. That's in the history books. Whereas some of the other stuff where you say people cheated or people did stuff, you could fudge around it if it's not something that was ever documented in that type of way.
Right.
Yeah, my point was just to say, like, how you to get caught when everybody else is doing stuff, you have to go above and beyond the line of cheating. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where some of the people that know what's going on is like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna vote for him, like, to take a stance. And before you know it, 5, 6, 10 people have that same thing, not knowing that it was gonna cause the uproar, because similar to like some of the baseball Hall of Fame, where like 2 or 3 people think that they're the only ones that are not voting for a player, and then yeah, when there's 10 other people thinking the same thing as you, that's what ends up happening.
Yeah, all this voting shit is stupid to me. I'm not stupid. I just don't. I can't really care that much about it, because I've never been one to put a lot of faith and trust and confidence in humans. So
Right.
if it's being decided by humans, you get what you should temper your expectations. So, do you have anything on Eli, or because nobody's talked about Eli? It's all been about Bill Belichick, but
I know, they stole the show, man.
Nah, that's,
Eli also did not get into the Hall of Fame. I don't know
yeah.
what your thoughts
That's
are on that.
I mean, Eli to me is, well, I don't know. You make some valid points with the whole cheating shit, but Eli, I feel like I think he eventually get in, but I'm not all that outraged shit about him not getting in is not. I mean, he's the man. He's the man in the playoffs and all of that, but he threw a lot of picks in his career. You know, shit like that. So I'm not crazy about that. I know he's gonna get in. I sure hope he is, at least as a Giant fan. But I mean, when he gets in the playoffs, he's a fucking different animal, man. Even that year we lost after the boat incident, he was on fire, bro. They dropped like fucking 4 TDs for that kid that day. So you know, against the Packers, but I ain't crazy about it. But he's the man. Love Eli.
All right, so last week it was behind the scenes with the Jets and the guy, I don't even remember his name. Don't care. Abrams something that you wanted to get into. Now we got to get into your Jets and all the behind the scenes there. The floor is yours.
What's going on?
Nah, you don't get to do that. We've let you slide long enough. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, on the outside it looks like a disaster, but you know, on one Jets drive, we call this a Tuesday, bro. We, I was born in it. You know, we were born in we born in this shit, man. Like this is the disaster. It's always a disaster. It's always a clown show. It's always, you know, even if they get to the right, even they get to the right point, which they normally don't anyway. Uh, even the way they get there, it's like those cartoons when like the cartoon dad want like he knows a shortcut and then he makes a quick left and they're like, you know, the car drives through a lion's den and then fucking, you know, then you see it like jumping through the hoop in like a fucking with fire under it, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then the car lands and they get to the entrance of wherever the hell they're going, like fucking like National Lampoons or some shit. And they get to where they get to, and it's like, yeah, we're here, you know, and it's not so bad, but like we could have just gone there a normal way. We didn't have to take the wacky fucking detour to get to this spot. So I mean, it just seems like it's the fucking like I was more so on the side of like it's kind of like a cop out to always say, oh, it's Woody and Woody, it's because of this, so the team and stuff like that. I'm getting to the point, man, where there's like it can't be it can't be this many people that you change and it always all the processes always look like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, you know, his son is in jail for manslaughter. His second son is in, you know, he murdered somebody. His daughter is in jail for domestic violence. You know, stabbed her husband. Like at some point, you know, it's the dad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they had a good family. No, they didn't because no, I don't want to say no because obviously there's you know obviously there's everybody has a different situation and there's obviously stuff that goes on behind the scenes in a family and all of that stuff. But you can do that if you have one kid to show for that does something that he's a you know not a black sheep. You have if you have four black sheep, you're the black sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like you are the reason you pass those traits on. And it's just like when you look at the Jets, man, no matter who comes in, no matter there's always stuff, there's always rumblings of like miscommunications, and then this side, the business side, and it's just always a mess, man. It's like how you can't have confidence in anything. Like you can't have confidence when you're driving through the lines then and the car is flying through the hoop. Like once you get there, like, oh, okay, fine. You know, maybe it makes it a little bit more satisfying that you went through all of this shit to get to this point. But the thing is, it's like while you're in it and you have nothing to show for it, it's just constant disaster.
Okay. Was hoping that you would give some details, do a little setup there. You said a lot of things. You didn't mention the firings. You didn't mention Wink Martindale. You didn't mention John Gruden. You didn't mention your new DC, the Duke. You didn't mention any of that and all of that you just said. So do you want to try again, or you want me to just do it?
Well, I mean, I guess that was when the jumping through the hoops and all that stuff. That's what, like, for
So
example,
you're just
John
you're playing like a jet. You're jumping through all the hoops when.
yeah. Basically, it's you know the John Gruden thing, like that's out of left field. I
Okay,
mean,
what's the John Gruden thing?
where they
For
reached out to
those who
John
don't
Gruden,
may not know, we're
that
doing a
you know
show
apparently
here.
apparently somebody reached out I mean Aaron Glenn. They reached out to John
Now,
Gruden
do
to
you
see if
believe
he
that it's
wanted.
Aaron Glenn? Do you believe that?
It doesn't. I don't know what to believe anymore. I think that's part of
Because
the
like
problem.
you were just
Man, where
talking about the problem, you know, at some point the problem is the dad. Speaking of Woody, I I find it hard to picture that not being a Woody thing.
Yeah, I mean, it smells of him because it's like Aaron Glenn. Why would Aaron Glenn, who's clearly going into a season um, where he may be on the hot seat, why would he? Why would he, in theory, hire
Right.
a a offensive assistant that clearly has the credentials and more than you at the moment? Um, why would you put him on a staff to where the first time you lose by a coaching decision or a missed field goal, they want John Gruden to take your job, and
Yeah,
it's like they
and
make
on
it.
top of that, like that, and not to mention the fact that I'm not sure that Aaron Glenn, like I understand he has a lot of power in the Jets organization. I'm not sure that let's not forget, John Gruden is suing the league. John Gruden he's sort of untouchable in terms of hiring. He has not received a job offer since he left the Raiders in disgrace. I don't know that there's a coach in the league who has the juice to, without consulting with the owner, offer John Gruden a gig when bringing in John Gruden comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of, well, he's racist, and you're going to bring back up the old emails. You're going to bring up the reason why he left the Raiders. I find it hard to imagine that either Glenn is a fool or he was either directed by or at minimum had the blessing of Woody Johnson, because you got to be a fool to think you're just gonna go up and call John Gruden. We're gonna I got it like that. I'm gonna hire John Gruden, this guy who's suing the league and who is untouchable, persona non grata when it comes to his reputation in the NFL.
And in
Right.
New York of all places, where it's like, maybe you get away with some, like maybe Andy Reid gets away with something a little sneaky like that, because because Kansas City always get, obviously winning the environment that they've created. They, how they always have like, uh, you know, Tyreek Hill under wraps or fucking, or there's
Yeah,
always
you're
there's
right. You
always
gotta have
yeah,
a heavy amount of. Well, that's why I said, I don't know that he has that kind of power in the organization, and I don't know that the organization has that type of juice and cachet and sort of benefit of the doubt that like you said, like a team that has been sort of has the reputation of being well run and that kind of thing would maybe be a spot. But even Andy Reid, I don't think it's not a story. I don't think Andy Reid goes to John Gruden and brings him in without talking to ownership and having everything, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, because
Right.
that's immediately going to be a huge story.
Right.
yeah, because even with the Brian Flores thing, like you mentioned, like suing the league, like Brian Flores is suing the league for something that was done to him, like you know what I'm saying, like, and even so, they brought him in as like a was it a linebackers coach
He was like a
or
consultant when he was with the Steelers at
yeah,
first.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like to get his foot back in, slowly get his foot back into
Hmm.
an organization, and then kind of like it almost seemed like he's working his way back up from there. But we're talking about Brian Flores, who, if he's not allowed to get a job, it almost solidifies his case. So it's
Yeah,
almost like,
that's what I was gonna
you know what
say.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's almost like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna let you in, and then you take it from there. But with
Right.
John Gruden, he has a doc, like everybody who was attached to that original situation, because that was
with the email
with
leaks.
Bruce, yeah, but with Bruce
Yeah.
Allen and
Yeah, and the other thing
and
about
like
that is that we never even got, like, the NFL buried that story. We never even got all the emails. You hire
Right.
John Gruden, we might get more emails. Because if
Yeah.
you remember, they did like a 3-day leak. Like, it was the first emails dropped,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. I
it
remember
got
that. Yeah.
hot, and then I think it was the New York Times or Wall Street Journal. Then they dropped another set of emails, and then it was like, all right, we got to make a move. We got to get this dude up out of here. And
right,
then they were like, where's the, when are we going to get, then they did this quote unquote investigation. And then it was like, oh, no, we figured it out. We fired him. We fired
ta-da.
everybody involved. And then they were fortunate enough to get the commanders sold. And then it was like, all right, we're just going to try to brush this under the rug. Hiring John Gruden fucking whoops the rug
In
up and
in
brings all
New
that shit
York,
back out.
in
Right.
New York, where people are fucking. You got Ian O'Connor, you have fucking Gary Myers, you have fucking all these niggas that are trying to that are like chomping at the bit for any little fucking like barracudas like looking for chum.
Right.
It's like you hire him and forget it. All of that, and honestly, it might even have been John Gruden. Like like the way it's phrased, it's like John Gruden had no interest in it, oh, because of the Jets, ha ha ha. But for all we know, John Gruden has no interest in it because he knows some of the other shit that would come out if he dips his toe in these waters. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, that's also a possibility there. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about Discover Time. Like, there's a lot of people here, man. This is not the place where you try to get away with sneaky shit. This whole area.
Right.
So when
That
John Gruden becomes the coach of the Jets next year after they fired Aaron Glenn, you gonna get like a cardboard cutout or a poster? What's the plan? You have a plan yet, or are you waiting?
I mean, I'll probably get a Chucky costume.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chucky, like with the green overalls, maybe.
yeah. And I mean, it'll fit in with when my full transformation hits. You know
I
what I'm
see
saying?
that. Yes, that's you. Always one step ahead. Always one step ahead. That's what's up.
amazing.
But so this guy Duke, we don't know anything about him, right? There's nothing worth. Well, listen,
No.
maybe the football dorks have plans. I don't know. I don't see anything worth getting into, but the floor is yours.
No, I just like the other thing that you mentioned was like with Wink Martindale. It was like there was
Yeah,
two
what was
distinct
that?
class. There was like two distinct classes of like takes. There was nothing in the middle. It was either what the hell are the Jets doing? Like bringing him. This is like which
Yeah,
is
but not about the
I
takes. I know you like to get into what is being said
no
in the
no no
media,
no.
but
But
I'm asking. I want to know what you feel about what happened with the way the whole Wink Martindale thing seemed like it was a done deal, and then all of a sudden it's not, and we end up with the Duke.
no, because that was my point. Because it was like I was more on the side of like I really would prefer somebody that was on the younger. This is it just seems like one of those things where like you bring in somebody like on your last like almost like the bringing Aaron Rodgers and trying to save the regime by going out swinging with a big name. You know
So
what
you
I'm saying?
didn't
It
want
almost felt
Wink.
like no, because it's like they go, what's that going to lead to? You know what I'm saying? It's like these are
I don't know. The
mercenary. These are
defense being
mercenary.
better.
Yeah, I know. Like, but it just seems like it's such a like a move that there's almost no win because Wink doesn't really stay like especially at this age. He doesn't really stay anywhere that long. He seems to kind of like wear out his welcome. So it's like, what's the point of this? It's like if you're gonna prolong Aaron Glenn for 1 year, like I'd rather either they hit the jackpot with somebody who an up and comer that somebody never like like all of these other geniuses genius coaches seem to pop out of nowhere
Okay, but
and
hold on
kind
a
of
second.
come
Hold on
up.
a second. Hold on a second. Because what you're suggesting is to suggest that this guy is going to be a real defensive coordinator, which I don't believe. That's why I'm asking you about the way that everything went down. Because are you not aware of the way everything went down, or what's been reported? Because so what's been
No,
reported is they did their interviews, did a bunch of interviews, Zoom interviews, in-person interviews for DC, and this guy Duke was not none of those interviews. He wasn't any of the preliminary interviews. It seemed like they had multiple interviews with Wink Martindale. It seemed like they were sort of coming to terms, and he was going to be the guy. He came in person, and I'm just repeating what I've heard reported. He came in person. It was assumed to have been a done deal, and then it was brought up to I guess he and Glenn had a conversation, and Glenn mentioned to him that Glenn plans to run the offense and he wants to call the offensive plays, and I guess then Wink was like, "Nah, I'm good," and then it fell apart, and then the next day we get a Duke interview, and Duke is the guy, and everything you're saying is you want a young guy, but what I just described is a scenario where I don't expect Duke to really have a ton of influence over the offense. He sounds like he'll be an offensive coordinator in name, and I'm sure he whatever sort of expertise he can lend in meetings. Excuse me,
Yeah.
defensive coordinator. He can lend whatever expertise he has in meetings. But if Aaron Glenn is calling the defense, it's Aaron Glenn's defense. Like we,
Right.
I get you, but there's plenty of coaches that like even those guys from the Rams, they were getting, like I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name, that young kid, but he wasn't in theory like a coordinator, and my point is just like getting smart people that think differently in the organization, in the room. Like I don't need more of those like
see,
old
but to me,
stubborn like
what you just said, getting smart people who think differently in the room, to me, that's getting Martindale, not getting some guy who is young and green and is going to be a subordinate. Like that, you're not bringing in a young guy and not letting him run the defense for his ideas.
I mean
Like you
I
purposely
understand.
didn't want Wink Martindale's ideas because you wanted your ideas.
Right.
No,
No?
I understand. I understand. I just think that we're going by like as if it's just
Well, do you
a
believe that
defensive court
report? That what happened?
of
That like the
the.
way that they planned, the way that it laid out, that Wink was the guy, and
I
then he came, and then that all of
I
a
think
sudden it was I'm
something.
gonna call the plays.
I
Because
think
if that's
something along
really
those
what
lines.
happened, that's a mess. It's a mess.
I think something along those lines happened, but I don't think that you bring in Wink Martindale and then tell him that you're going to
Well, that's what I'm
call the
saying. That's
plays.
why it just doesn't sound like it really makes. I feel like there's something that's missing from that
Yeah,
report, from
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
story, because either what something's missing that we're not hearing, or just Aaron Glenn is clueless beyond what I could have even imagined.
Yeah. Yeah. Because for you to call you don't need a guy. You don't need a guy like that to just be because what in essence, what would he be signing up to do? Just
Right.
take the arrows of being the defensive coordinators if the defense doesn't work. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to begin with. So, like, if if Aaron Glenn is gonna call the defensive plays, that's what I mean by like having somebody that's not going to that's gonna think differently and not just be like butt heads because he does the thing a certain way, which kind of seems like is what happened, even with the Giants or something like, in his uh, most recent NFL stop. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything about the Duke. Uh, but if it's Aaron Glenn calling the plays and him going out, so he can't have anyone to blame. Like I'm gonna go out guns blazing, like this is on me. Then fine. Like I just didn't want like, oh, the defense plays a little bit better. They win 6 games and it looks like an improvement, but then you know Wink, there's like rumblings that Wink and Aaron Glenn aren't seeing eye to eye, and then you go into year 3 and you don't know what's going on. So it's like if we're gonna do this, I want it to work out for Aaron Glenn. It's not looking good right now, and if it's if it's not gonna if it, we're not gonna be doing the thing where we tread water in like, oh, 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins. Like, no, a disaster. It's your disaster. All right, you hired all these people. You're the one calling the defensive plays. You're the defensive coordinator. You're the defensive guy. If it doesn't work, this is on you. This is not anybody else. We're not giving more benefits of the doubt. That's it.
Right.
Word life.
Not. I mean, I think definitely something. I think it's what you said. I think there's no real understanding of shit. Like you get the young guy. If you knew you were gonna call the plays from the jump, you get the young guy. There's no reason to even talk to Wink. You know what I'm saying? Get the young guy from the jump. Maybe if you do good and you do turn the shit around, that's your protege. Now you have a guy out there. from your fucking tree that's out there, and he's a good DC. Right now, Glenn has to prove that he knows what he's doing at either side of the ball, and I think this is the right thing for him as far as just taking. If he really believes in his ability, which he does, obviously, take over. Don't even give him. Don't give that up to nobody. Be the defensive coordinator slash coach. Salah's doing it in Tennessee. And he learned from his stitch out here in New York. So I think that's the right. I think that's the right move. I think the way they went about it is just silly and messy for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm suspicious about what's because like I've been as critical as anybody of Aaron Glenn, but man, if it just feels like there's a lot of real weird, don't make sense shit being assigned to Aaron Glenn that as much as I don't think highly of him, I don't think he's like a vegetable, like he's brain dead, like it.
Right.
Between the Gruden thing, so you mean to tell me this season ended and Aaron Glenn all on his own just decided I'm firing everybody. Let me call up Gruden. Yo, Wink, come through. I want you to be defensive coordinator. Oh,
Hold up.
Gruden, no, you're good. All right. Yeah, I forgot you had that lawsuit and shit anyway. It's probably better off. Oh, Wink, yo, just so you know, you're here, but I want to run the play. Oh, wait,
Yo, Tom
nah,
Brady, you
don't
want a quarterback?
This? Like, that's what I'm supposed to believe, that Aaron Glenn just
Nah.
wowed out. The season ended and he just lost his mind. That's what I'm.
Nah.
That's what you're telling me. Like I don't. Something smells real stinky. I don't know what it is, but none of that shit adds up to me. And I'm not gonna just 100% take it at face value because it just sounds way too ridiculous. Like I mean, I guess I shouldn't put any level of ridiculousness past whatever's going on over there, but that just sounds nuts to me. Like I just don't like you said, like the idea that Wink was even a candidate and he shows up, like how did that happen? How did you even fly in and at no point did you tell this dude that was the plan? Like you just you came up with that while he was in the air on the plane. You were like, yo, you know what? I think I'm gonna fucking call these defensive plays. Like the whole thing just sounds nuts to me. I don't even know if there's anything to say about it.
It's almost like
it just sounds.
It's almost like there's two people making decisions, and they're not communicating at all. And it's like they're just like, yo, you come over this weekend to watch the Super Bowl, and now I'm getting ready my fucking house to have a freaking solo party, or me and my kids only, and then oh shit.
And then I get to your crib and you're watching Survivor or some shit.
Right. And the Super Bowl day comes and there's people in my house. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, I was invited, but you know what I'm saying? It's almost like there's no fucking communication.
That's the thing. Like, it's funny that you say that. I was invited by who? That's how I feel. Aaron Glenn talked to Wink when he showed up. Like, oh, what are you doing?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh shit, and that's what I think is happening. I think maybe one of the owner or
I don't know if it's Woody. I don't know if it's Tannenbaum, but somebody is operating in the shadows. I feel like because the idea that Aaron Glenn. The Gruden thing that's the one thing I don't feel like anybody has brought up the idea. Like people talk about, oh, it was probably Woody. To me, I haven't heard anybody mention the fact that I'm supposed to believe that Aaron Glenn called this guy that is a pariah in the league and just offered him a gig without Woody's influence, a guy who's suing the league. Like no one has mentioned that aspect of it. Right. That to me is the
a guy that spoke badly about black people.
Yeah.
By a black coach. Don't worry about that. I'm cool with that. Hey, you want to...
Yeah. But you know what it is, man? It's like, first of all, Aaron Glenn, he brought it on himself. As much as sometimes you see why you would be like prickly like that with the media, especially here, the way they parse your word and always looking for something. But at the same time, it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? And he should be smart enough to realize that he can't be doing that shit. So once he did that, I feel like it was just like duck season, like in Bugs Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Like it's open. Like we all gonna try to get this nigga. So I just feel like he's an easy target. He's easy to pin anything to. Because it just seems like coincidentally, not coincidentally, like. All of these details come out about Wink Martindale and it's like it almost looked like there was a segment of the media and like kind of pushing this like Wink Martindale should get the job. Wink Martindale should get the job. This and this and this, and yeah, he's the name. And then it seems like yeah, even like if he got, like Aaron Glenn goes, all right, fine, man, I'll interview this guy. You guys are all clamoring for him, so I'm gonna interview him. And then it's like, oh, he doesn't get the job. So instead of like taking responsibility and being like, oh, man, we got this one wrong. It's almost like, what happened that he was supposed to be hired by this guy? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're trying to look for another reason to kind of like why they were wrong. Like, because it was like, yeah, well, every story is like he was seen as the favorite when he came over for his second interview and everything like that. And then and things fell apart. And it's over. Then what happened?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and I know that there were people in the media who wanted him to get the job because he communicates with the media, but that doesn't change the fact that this whole you don't got to do what the fucking media says. If the media says they want Wink Martindale, you don't got to fucking interview him multiple times and fly him in and then tell him when he gets that they get the fuck out.
No.
That has nothing to do with the media.
No. My point was just like we're talking about a team and an owner that obviously kind of reacts to what is going on and what people are saying and people are trying to
then that's their fault. That's not the media's fault.
Right.
No. But that's my point. So it's like they get sold, like it's almost like they fall for the Jets, they fall for everything because they're always like, oh, they're always in the running for this, always this, and then this happens, and instead of like, it just feels like they're always reacting to what's going on and what people are saying. So
if you think that the whole Wink Martindale hiring and not hiring process was a result of media pressure, then the Jets have even bigger problems than I thought.
Well, I mean, they do. We don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to. Like even speculate that they don't.
I wasn't there. I wasn't assuming that they're bringing that they're doing multiple interviews and bringing guys in that they're gonna hire because the media said so. I thought that there was somebody that actually was behind that in the organization.
My overall point is that it's a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It's like,
and I'm saying that's crazy.
Yeah,
I never thought that was a possibility.
Yeah, because it just when you talk about Groot, well, I mean, you just pretty much.
And I also don't feel like I feel like his name was. I feel like his name was being discussed once he was interviewed.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing all these media columns and all people talking about Wink Martindale for the Jets job, and then they sought him out.
No. But it like the way that it was framed now, it's like, oh, he reached out in December or something like that. I forget where I saw that. Where it's like he was. December? I don't know. The Jets reached out in like from December or something like that. So I mean, my point is I can't. It's like there's so much, like what I was saying from the beginning. There's so much shit that you don't know what's going on. It's almost like the Donald Trump thing where it's like, like at the beginning he would do some foul shit, right? And then, everybody would talk about it for a few days, maybe a week. I'm talking about his first term. They'll talk about it for a few weeks, a couple weeks go by, kind of died down, then he'd do something else. It's like this time, he does something every day, so you can't keep up with all the stuff that he's doing. And it's like with the Jets, it's almost like similar, where there's so much shit going on that they're trying to, instead of like just being organized and all pulling in the same direction, it just seems like these people want this and these people are reacting to this, and then you get the report from like last year or the year before where like the kids have an opinion, like Woody's kids have an opinion here, and you don't know if that's true, but it can be true because it just by
Aaron Rodgers basically confirmed it. So
well, that's what I'm saying, but I'm saying like before, like when it first comes out, it's like all of this stuff, it's like, you can lend it credence because of all of the other stuff that's going on. So it's almost like you don't even know what's outlandish anymore. You know, anybody could say anything, and you could be like, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them.
Right. Which is definitely what's going on politically.
Well, it reminds me like of Donald Trump because like the same way that all of the big supporters of Donald Trump, they believe him and they look for reasons to blame the media.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, are you excited for Frank Reich? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh shit.
Because
You damn right.
I've used AI to skim through all of the previous recordings and all of the bad things you said about Frank Reich. We're gonna make a compilation.
Really?
Yeah. Thank God for AI that we can do that. So it's still in the process right now, but I'm putting together a mixtape. But let's hear what type of pivot you're gonna go to now. We're excited for Frank Reich.
There's no pivot for me. This is
no, come on. I don't come here for non-pivots. I come here for a Jets pivot, and I want it now. Let's see it. Come on.
Yeah, they call me Jeremy Pivot over here. But no, but it's like it's almost I'll go just at the sake of overusing it, where there's no outrage left. They've beaten just like the politics and Donald Trump. They've beaten the reactions out of me. I can't react to anything anymore because I don't know what's coming tomorrow. So it's like, it's like this would have been a 5 or a 6 today, but if there's let's say this was a 10 today, but tomorrow there might be a new 10. So yesterday's 10 is not today's 10.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
You're letting me down here. This is disappointing.
No,
if this is where we are you even still a Jets fan?
Yeah, yes, I am. This is you see this right here. You see this right here. You see the green.
So you're not excited for Frank Reich. You got no spin there. You know what I think?
Really.
I think that given where we are right now, I think the Gruden thing, I think that kind of locks it up. That I think we need at least some type of I won't go as far as to say a full permanent ban, but I feel like you have to have some type of a moratorium on attacking the Giants for being racist. I don't feel like you have a leg to stand on when it comes to that one anymore. I think you need at least a 1-year moratorium on that.
I don't know, man, but I see this is where I will defend the Jets to the end till the crash in the cockpit. The Jets have hired a lot of minority coaches, man. They've had a lot of black quarterbacks. They've had a lot of people in important, in important places that are different shades.
What this sounds like? This sounds like I have a black friend. That's what this sounds like. How could I be racist? How could hiring Gruden be racist?
Yeah,
I have a black coach. That's what I'm.
Yeah, but if it's the black coach hiring him, that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, like, you could if it's one coach. All right, Aaron Glenn.
You're struggling. I got you. I got you.
If it's one coach, no. But I'm saying, like, if it's one coach, like, you could do the black friend. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be rolling deep with 4 or 5 black friends and be like, and then you know what I'm saying, be accused of racism. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you sure you can? You sure as hell can.
You think so? I mean, you got Todd Bowles.
So.
You got Todd Bowles. You have Herm Edwards. You got fucking Rob Saleh. You got fucking Aaron Glenn. Come on,
man. What does
man.
that have to do with anything? You're naming your black friends. I don't care about your black friends. I know your owner, and I know the guy that you offered a job to. That's what I know.
What do you mean? I have friends. Their name is Todd, Aaron, Herm, Robert. What do you mean? These are
Now, all
all
kidding
my.
aside, when it comes to that, I don't even know that you could lean on that because I don't know that any of the guys that you mentioned would speak highly of the way that things ended with the Jets.
No, it was just funny because like when I'm going through the names, like they sounded like white names anyway. So
Todd, Rob, you got to go last names. You needed a Sala
yeah,
in there to help you out.
Yeah.
That would have really made a big difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
But nah. I mean, and maybe that's another way of the white rich man keeping the black man down, and maybe they put him into positions. Maybe that's his fetish. Just he hires them so he can fire them.
Ooh.
That's another thing that we didn't think about.
No, I thought about it. You apparently didn't think
Oh.
about it when you were defending the Jets literally like 2 minutes ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm defending them like like as my reference point of the Giants when I was, when you were saying that I was banned from accusing them of racism. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just, at least there's that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say I got four black friends, not so much for the other guy. You know what I'm saying?
You can say whatever you want. All I'm saying is you're you're not operating from a position of strength given recent events.
You see how I'm dressed?
I do. It's not
All right
helping
then.
you. I mean, you look good, but it's not helping. It's not helping people to visually understand where you stand.
Help me when I get pulled over there, buddy.
That it will. Okay, so you have nothing on Frank Wright. I didn't hear
I mean,
anything.
what is it?
I didn't hear
No,
anything
I'm
about
just saying,
football.
like,
I heard about the media. I heard about all this bullshit.
with
Do you
Frank.
think that he has anything to contribute from a football standpoint, or you would have rather somebody else, or
I mean, I think I would have rather like.
would you rather them have kept this guy? What's his name?
Yeah, but see,
Engstrom,
that's
whatever
almost,
the fuck his name
yeah,
is.
that's almost like that. Almost kind of going back to the Wink thing. It kind of makes it even more ridiculous because, like, I think that the original plan was to have kind of like leave him as a
Yeah.
offensive coordinator in name, and not let him call plays. And he was
Do you
like,
think any of this
even
is motivated
even
by money? Because I've heard
uh,
that he didn't want to
I can't,
pay and
yeah, I can't put it past like I
that
can't.
Wink was asking for too much money. That was also a part of it. I heard that. I heard that. But then at the same time, that doesn't really add up because it seems like for Frank Reich that this is just a money grab. That he was never even planning on coaching again, and he was like, let me get this last check if you insist.
Yeah, so
But like even with the thing with the
That
offensive
sucks.
coach that they didn't want to fire him, they wanted to keep him on staff because Woody didn't want to be paying all these coaches that's not coaching.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like with that, who knows? And it's almost like, does he already know? Like, yo, bro, you're on thin ice. I'm not gonna give you if you're a defensive coordinator. I'm paying you. Use your expertise here. I'll help you out on offense just because that's not your expertise, and we need to fix that shit and like to try to get out of the doldrums and
He's the
and
head
fucking
coach of the offense, right? That's what they said.
yeah. But but see, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's almost like, all right, you're the head coach and you're a defensive guy. How about I'm not throwing extra money when you could just do this shit yourself. You can hire another guy for a little bit of support here, to kind of help you during the game plans during the week. But you're gonna have to do something if I'm gonna spend on offense, and also, um, and also, we got to bring in a more quarterback, another support staff, and all of that stuff because, like, I'm not sure if you saw the tweet. It's like I don't know how much money they're paying to three players next year. Like their top three cap hits are like Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, and Sauce Gardner. So it's like those are their top three, and these are guys that are no longer on the team. So it's like it's almost like,
Oh
yo,
my
dog,
god.
like I'm spending a lot of money here. Like do this shit and get it on the right path, and maybe we could talk next year. But you're on thin ice right now, bro,
Hmm.
and and you're gonna have to lean into your expertise on the defensive side. I'll help you. I'll throw a little bit more change on the offensive side, because that's not something you can do or you have done. So I'm gonna help you out there. But the defensive shit, you're gonna have to figure out because that's why you're here.
I understand everything you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense, but that's not. It's difficult for me to imagine that that's the way the conversation between Woody and Aaron Glenn went. That level of
No,
reasonable and measured.
yeah, I mean, I'm just this is the inner monologue. You know what I'm saying? That's not. I
No,
don't think this
what
was.
you're saying sounds 100% right and makes sense to me. It's hard for me to picture that. I don't know. It's hard for me to really picture any of try to make sense of any of it, to be honest, because the whole thing just is nuts. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next. We'll see who ends up being because they haven't officially hired Reich yet, right? I haven't seen that
Right.
announced.
Nah. Nah.
It's just the Duke.
When he gets fired, I'm gonna.
Duker.
I got a nickname, or well, I guess this is probably not gonna work, but Turd Reich. You know, like the Third Reich, like Hitler. You know, when it doesn't work, that's
Oh my god. Crazy.
I
Hitler's a
like
good
it.
football name.
I like it. Is it?
I mean, Whitner was
Was it? Who's
Dante
Whitner?
Whitner.
Oh, Dante
Dante
Whitner.
Whitner.
I think it was
Yeah.
Whitmer.
Hitler. Was it Whitmer?
Whitmer. No. Was it?
Nah, Dante Whitner.
Whitner, yeah, I think so.
That's more menacing. Whitmer is like more
But
like of a accountant
Hitler.
name.
Hitler, I get it because you're hitting and
All right. So,
uh,
the games this past weekend. Um, I I don't really have much to say about the AFC Championship game. There really wasn't. Only thing I will say is I feel like I got cheated out of a game, but
right.
it
Everybody
is what
did.
it is.
Right.
Um, but I don't know that there's really much to take away from it. I guess it's just amazing that it's just amazing the path that the Patriots get to go on is
Crazy.
incredible.
And
But
and to just
Right.
squeak out because of that shaky at best call
which
that
call?
set up the touchdown is fucking crazy.
Which call?
Oh,
The
that
turnover?
penalty?
The fumble?
Yeah, yeah, the backwards pass or whatever.
Oh my
See,
God.
I don't know that
What the
I
fuck?
don't really view it the same way. I don't think that was a shaky call. It seemed like it went backwards to me from what I could see.
Yeah.
Um, and it's difficult for me to say that. That's why I say I feel like I got cheated out of a game because I still am not convinced that I'm not comfortable saying that the Patriots, um, squeaked by like in terms of like they barely won. I feel like they did what they needed to do. I'm still not convinced that they didn't have full control of that game. Like I'm not convinced that if there was no snow at all that they wouldn't have managed and played the game entirely different. That's why I feel like I got cheated because I feel like so much of the decision making was based off of the fact that they had a lead, the conditions were unplayable, and the second half it was just playing keep away. It was they didn't have to make a play. There were at no point was they were required to make a play. But that to me doesn't necessarily mean that if they were required to make a play that they couldn't make a play.
Right.
Like they made very clearly conscious decisions to not even try to make a play, which is another thing to me. I feel like if you voted for Drake May for MVP, Monday morning you had to be a little embarrassed because if you look at the way and I understand it's a regular season award, I understand that it's not that the playoffs don't have anything to do with it. But to me, that was always the case for me why I didn't think that Drake May should be the MVP because of that. Because he's a quarterback who, in an AFC championship game, they had no trust in him at all. Didn't even try to have him throw the ball. Refused to let him throw the ball. Like, there was that third down play that they fucking damn near ran the ball out of bounds on purpose because they just did not want this kid to make a mistake, which I give him credit for. It was the smart way to play the game because, like I said, the conditions were what they were, and since you had the lead, once the weather crossed that threshold and the shit was no longer playable, like, why would you go out of your way to try to make a play and potentially make a mistake? I don't begrudge them managing the game the way that they did. I just thought it was just unfortunate, and it didn't make for a good football game. And I also just don't think that if that was the same situation and you had Matt Stafford there, I don't think that they play it that. I don't think that McVay takes the ball out of Stafford's hands like that. And that's the reason why I feel like I couldn't vote somebody MVP who is that level of a novice.
Yeah, right. Like they gave the ball. They took those three. I think they ran it on first down, and then I forget what the second down play. And then the third down play was just
they ran it
throw it, throw it like 10 yards out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah.
Like, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna give the ball back to you, whatever. Like, you guys aren't. We're not gonna give you the short field. So we're not gonna let Drake May, fumble or like throw a tipped interception or something like that. If it's not there, throw it all the way the hell out of bounds, and then we'll live to fight another day. So, right. Like you said, that MVP, it always just feels like even going back to what you said about the Hall of Fame, the voting and stuff like that, the MVP just feels like everybody. You know when like somebody discovers like a rap group or like an artist or something like that, and they want to be kind of like known as the first person who kind of like started listening to that. Like, I feel like sometimes these voters always kind of want to be the first one to say, "Yo, this is the next dude." You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Drake May, and it's almost like they want to like crown like certain people. Because they want to be first.
Kevin Stefanski has 2 Coach of the Year trophies.
There you go. I'm about to be a third.
We got to see because they have yet to announce Drake May as MVP. I think he's gonna win it, but who knows? Maybe the voters. It did, in my opinion, would have been the right thing and giving it to Stafford. But
getting the MVP and then let's say he gets blown out. Throws two interceptions.
That'd be crazy.
I can see that, which kind of would it would kind of highlight the level of farce that it is. So I mean, maybe I'm rooting for that a little bit.
I'm not rooting for him to get the MVP, but whether he gets the MVP or not, I'm rooting for him to get blown out in the Super Bowl. So, I will definitely be rooting for it even harder if he does win the MVP. But either way, I want to see them get blown out. But
is that this week?
The Super Bowl?
No. The
honors ain't that this week?
I think so. I think they do that award show the week. Because this is the Pro Bowl week, right?
Yeah, honors.
Yeah, I think
NFL honors.
I think they do it this week. Yeah. I don't know, man. I say they need to change this whole shit and go back to Hawaii, man. The Pro Bowl has. I mean, I know football dorks love the Pro Bowl, but I can't deal with it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, the only thing I'll even watch, and I don't even like watching it because it's pre-recorded, is like that thing where like they're throwing the ball and like almost like the rock and jock style.
Yeah,
like,
I don't mind that. I don't mind
the targets.
Stuff. Yeah, hitting the targets, and I don't mind.
Yeah, I like that shit, but I don't like it.
Competitions, I don't mind that.
Yeah, but even if you're gonna do that, man, don't pre-record that shit. Like, do that shit live. That's the fun.
What the fuck?
Are you gonna call in and give your opinion? Well, who cares? If
No. But I like to see like reactions and like, like when sometimes you get to see how into things some of these guys are. Like, even like with normal competition, and you get like, you get them cursing and you get them doing real like reactions. Like, I want to see the real reaction. I don't want to see like,
I used to love that
like
about the
broken
Pro Bowl,
down edited shit.
Yeah, the camaraderie of the playing around or whatever. But I just hate the fact that they label the game like a thing. Don't make it a like a game, like the flag thing.
Yeah.
Don't make it like a oh Jerry Rice and Irvin and don't do that, bro. Just say
Yeah.
another event of the guys playing flag or some shit.
Festivities.
So
Yeah,
you don't want it
don't.
to be named the Pro Bowl.
It's not that I don't want it to be named. I almost want it to be like Pro Bowl. I mean, it don't mean anything
You
now,
want
but
Pro Bowlers, but there shouldn't
Well,
be a Pro
they
Bowl.
changed the name. They call it the Pro Bowl Games now, don't they?
Mm.
yeah, I think
I think
so.
it's the Pro Bowl Games. It's not
It's
just the
just
Pro
not.
Bowl.
It's just not the same, man. I don't know. That shit is broken. You know, it's been broken, but I don't know, man. That shit is just.
I think
Wait, you're not
Sean
excited
Taylor broke it.
for the crazy catch competition where they jump off the trampoline and land on the on the
Oh my
fucking
God.
on the
The
high
shit that
jump
we used,
mat?
the
That's
shit we,
that.
the
That's
shit
the
we did
dunk
with,
contest.
the
That's
shit
the
we
dunk
did.
contest of
Yeah,
fucking.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
I think they give them scores. You get like a
they do.
they yeah.
That shit is just, bro. That's what we started doing when we first started playing football. You throw it to yourself, you dive on your bed, then eventually you go to a pool. Your friend throws it, you
Yeah, it's
catch.
full
Like
circle. It's perfect.
I don't
No?
know. It'll be iller if they did that shit in an apartment in the project. Like
Yeah,
just
like
fucking
NFL
throw it, and
Street.
then they got the double mattress, pissy mattress. Fucking, I would fucking like
Mm.
that. That'd be crazy. But
Imagine.
whatever.
The middle worn down. The
Yeah,
fucking mattresses that have
crazy.
like like there would be those spots that have like the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
not
hell
the
yeah.
edges because the edges is all crispy,
Yeah, the
but the
dangerous.
fucking
Oh, yeah, the
might get a
danger,
spring in his neck.
right?
So not
We was
excited for
wearing
the
that
Pro
part out,
Bowl.
boy.
Any major takeaways from the championship games? Like I talked about the AFC championship. I don't really have a takeaway from there. NFC, I thought it was a great game.
It was a great
Kind of
game.
went the way that I expected it to. Um, I just feel like the Rams just ran out of steam. And obviously
Yeah,
the muff punt was the
That was the killer.
the real killer. Yeah.
yeah, man. Having with a team with so
Twice,
many
crazy.
high end players, having what is he like? Was he a defensive back there? Like, was it
No, I
number
don't think
19?
it was 19. He ain't a DB, is he?
No, but I'm saying like you have so many dudes, man. Like even Tutu Atwell or fucking like if you're gonna in a spot like that, man, put Puka Nakua
Well,
back
no,
there,
they
man.
had
Like,
Kyron Williams.
Yeah, they ended up putting Kyron Williams there. It's
They
just
put him in, but they
it's
put him
yeah,
too
well
late.
it's
after
tough to
no,
Yeah,
say though. It's tough to say, man.
it was
but
tough
I
to
mean
say.
it's I don't
To
think
do
it's tough
that,
to
like to
no
say,
because
oh, just
bro,
put
you
Puka back there. What if he gets injured now? That shit
bro,
happened to the Giants. The Giants did that shit, and we put who we put up. We put our starting DB back there. I forgot who it was at the time. Motherfucker got injured. You
Seahorn.
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And everybody's tight about it. So I understand it. Like
brother, that was
one
because that was
quarterback
in the
and
pro that wasn't that in the preseason
no,
that the
I don't think
Seahorn.
it was in the season. No, that was the season. You talk about you taking it back. No, this is earlier. This is maybe last year. But I just feel like because I always think about that, bro. Like whenever things like that happen, I'm always like, then why don't you put the other? But it's hard to say, man. As a coach, you already running your niggas thin, your players thin. You damn near got them playing, Iron Man almost. Like
Yeah, I
every
can't
play
Bro,
blame
he
they're
him.
tripped
running
on the
out
He
back
there.
had one
pedal.
job. That was his one job. Like
I get
He
it.
tripped on the
No,
back pedal. It
I
wasn't
feel
he
you.
didn't fumble.
I'm
He
not
didn't
blaming. I'm not saying he's excused for it. I'm saying as a coach is more difficult than you put the guy. He got one, like you said, he got one job to do. He's a pro. You put him back there. He muffed it twice and he fucking lost the game. The Giants made it to the Super Bowl against the Niners because the same shit happened to the Niners and I'd never been happier. So
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just that that's just questionable to me when you have this level of high end talent. And the other thing, man, like in the moment when he didn't kick the field goal, I was like, damn, why isn't he like? Because I was even like, because that's the one thing. Usually that there's a situation where you're like, oh yeah, obviously, hindsight is 2020, man. But I was like, I was looking at it and I was even doing the numbers. I'm like, oh well, if they kick a field, they'll still be down one. and stuff like, and it just felt like it felt wrong. Like normally I trust like McVay when he goes for it, but just the way the game was going, because the defense did tighten up towards the end, and I felt
Which
like they would
defense?
have got the Rams defense.
See, I
I
disagree. I
No,
disagree.
no, no, but the Seattle defense also tightened up as well, which is why I was like, you know what, like
Take the
take
points.
this, take the points. I know maybe that some of that they don't really have confidence in the kicker, him being like a young kicker and not having the history with him. I know, that
Yeah, but it was a
might have,
5 yard field goal.
yeah,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying
They were
because
5 yards away.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. But my point was, it's like you kick that and then another field goal wins the game if you stand up. If you get a touchdown and they score a touchdown, you're losing anyway. Like because you saw that you saw at the end when they were trying to get these plays off. And I mean, I don't know how the timeout situation played out in terms of like how many they had then, but just like kicking the field goal and then it just allows you to have more options, because if you let up a touchdown, you're losing anyway. But just it just felt like even in the moment, man, just like make it a one score game and see what you guys can do at the end. Don't put it at risk of you having to score a touchdown with such little time at the end of the
I
game.
understand what you're saying. I just disagree. I didn't see it that
Yeah.
way. I felt like the Rams were not going to win that game with 2 field goals. They needed a touchdown either on that drive or at some point. They weren't going to kick 2 field goals and beat the Seahawks from where they were in that spot. And I felt like the Rams defense was fading by the every single drive, and that was the thing. That's why it didn't even really matter to me, because the last those final, probably I would say at least the last 3 Seahawks possessions, the Rams couldn't stop them. The Seahawks could do whatever they wanted. They could not stop Jackson Smith and Jigba. The Seahawks were going to score a touchdown every drive in that fourth quarter at the end if they wanted to. I mean, and it
Right.
doesn't really make a difference, because if you couldn't stop them, you kick the field goal, score the touchdown, it doesn't matter. One thing doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the other. But I just felt like I looked at it like the Rams need to put up being that close to the goal line, that late in the game. I just felt like they weren't going to be able to. They needed to continue to put the pressure and try to score as many points as they can, especially because Stafford was cooking. If Stafford was struggling,
Yo, he's
or if
cooked.
the defense was like really giving him problems, then maybe I would have said, like, listen, you take the points and you try to get a stop. But Stafford was cooking, and fucking Parkinson dropped the touchdown like 2 plays before
Oh
that.
my God, yeah.
And they had they had put together a really good drive. Stafford and McVay, the play calls were on point. Everything was seemed
Right.
to be really in sync, and I feel like he got to that point and was like, "Yo, we're cooking. Like, let's try to keep the momentum and put this shit in the end zone. Let's not totally break the momentum by settling for a field goal here, especially in a game where the defense was struggling." That was how I saw it. I mean, I definitely understand the case and the logic for kicking the field goal. I'm not saying that kicking the field goal would have been wrong. What he did was right. I'm just saying, to me, either way, it was a little bit of a toss-up. I'm not going to I don't criticize, like, because a lot of people have been very critical of Sean McVay for going for not taking the point. Oh, you got to take the points. Like, I agree, and a lot of times, sometimes these guys get a little too slick with going for it and not taking the points, especially in big games. But in that specific situation, to me, I didn't mind him going for it. Again, he could have kicked a field goal. I wouldn't have criticized him for that either. But I totally understand in that moment, just given the way that I saw the game playing out, given the struggles that the Rams defense was having trying to stop Jackson Smith and Jigba, and given how in sync and how rolling McVay and Stafford were, I can't criticize him for trying to get in the end zone there, given how close they were.
I feel you.
No, go ahead.
No, my fault. I feel you, but the other thing that I was, because I think that the defense had just come off a long drive. The before that, the Rams defense, And the reason why I thought that was also like it was almost like if you kick that field goal, you give them a little bit more time to kind of catch their breath. Um,
See, but I could
so I
argue
thought like
the other side of that. You could say that, and I understand that. But at the same time, at least if you don't get the touchdown there, you're giving the Rams defense, they got to drive the full length of the field, as opposed to putting your special teams back out there after a field goal. You don't know if they're gonna give up a fucking kick return touchdown. You're gonna have the Seahawks at midfield. And yeah, you're 3 points closer, but now you got a Rams defense that's been struggling at midfield, as opposed to having them. I would make the case that the Rams defense was put in a better position, scoreboard aside, they were put in a better position having them pinned back on the 5-yard line than if they would have gotten 3 points there. But now you're asking that Rams defense to stop them from close to midfield and hold them to not even a field, to stop them from scoring. I just don't feel like that would have been. I feel like the Rams defense had a better chance to hold the Seahawks offense to a field goal, driving the length of the field, than they did holding them to no score off of a kickoff.
yeah, I mean that's just kind of like the math when I was thinking about like because I'm usually on the side of like yeah this is what McVay does, just he goes for it in this situation down here this close. You have Stafford, you have all these players, but it just felt like you get it to one point and you get some rest on defense, because obviously with the kickoff and then after it turns into like almost 10 minutes of a break.
Yeah.
That's kind of
you're
like the math that I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's kind of like the math that I was doing when I thought that, because usually, like I said, I'm like, yeah, just go for it, man. You're close. You got to try to go for it. But I mean,
Because I just feel like this.
yeah,
If they can you honestly say if they kick the field goal there, they go down 1, and then they kick the ball off, whatever 20-minute, 30-minute, you give them a halftime. I don't care. Give them rest. I just don't feel confident that the Rams are holding the Seahawks scoreless that next drive. The Seahawks were cooking them, and they were getting worse by the play. Like, I feel like it would have been better to ask them to hold them to a field goal than to hold them scoreless. Like, I just feel like it wouldn't have made a difference. I feel like they kick that field goal, they go down 1, they cut it to 1. The Seahawks, at minimum, were kicking a field goal, if not punching it in the end zone on the other end, the way that the Rams defense was struggling.
no, I feel you. The other thing is for a coach that is such a maniac about all this, hit that situation with the special teams, man. I don't get it. Like why they're so bad. Like him being that type of coach, and like it just seems like that's the type of coach that would have that shit like locked down with the special teams.
Not everybody could be a freaking Aaron Glenn, bro.
No, but I'm saying like fucking if you're gonna
A
fire
joke.
your yeah, no, but they didn't have any blocked field goals, all right, pal. So watch your mouth.
Well, I think that's the joke. That's what he's making. That
Yeah.
that was the highlight of
those
the Jets team, was that they were good on special teams. But they lost their kicker to injury. I mean, I can't blame Sean McVay for that. They didn't go into the season with
No,
this
I
guy
know, but I'm saying, like,
Melvis or
they-
Mavis or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, Mavis. He dude had a tire
Discount
around
tire.
his fucking had a spare tire around his fucking gut.
I'll tell you
But,
that. I'll tell you that. That didn't really the decision to go for it. I didn't hate it, but I know I wouldn't have done it. But I understood it. I Not to bring back the Denver game, because that Denver game, that decision to go for it was I mean, that was stupid in my
I thought
opinion.
it was a great idea. I do.
Because you did okay.
Well, here's my
thought it was
thing.
right.
If we're gonna go back to that, my thing with
Yeah.
that, I just felt like I thought that was a bad game for Sean Payton, because I feel like so much of the decision making that he didn't add up. They didn't go together. Like if you weren't, he didn't play the first quarter or even the first half. All of the first, I would say 3-4 drives of the game, he didn't play them like somebody who's going to be going for fourth downs. Like they were very conservative. I expected them to be.
Right.
I expected
No,
them
you're
to be a lot more aggressive, just from a play call standpoint, from just an offensive approach standpoint. So that's why, to me, when he went for it on fourth, it didn't make sense because of the way that he had been playing the rest of the game. He had been playing it conservatively, and then all of a sudden went for it on fourth down. But to me, I felt like he was for me, I felt
Playing
like
games.
not going for it. Going for it to me was not the decision I questioned. I questioned why the offensive urgency and aggressiveness throughout the first two quarters didn't match you going for it on fourth down. Like, if you were going to be aggressive, you should have just been aggressive from the jump. That was how I felt,
Right.
but I didn't feel like it was bad to go for it. I thought the play call was terrible. But in
Yeah, I hated the
that
play call.
situation, I didn't think it was a bad idea to go for it. I thought it was smart to go for it because I felt like if I want to give him, I don't know what level of accountability the weather was taken into account. I mean, I don't know if he was taking the weather into account, but I felt like you needed to try to put points on the board. If you knew you were getting a storm, if he did
Right, I
have
think
any
they
heads
did.
up of that,
Yeah.
you needed to be trying to get as many points on the board as early as you could.
Right.
That was why I didn't mind it. And I just felt like I never felt like the Broncos should have taken an approach of trying to win that game with field goals. I just never thought they were going to, like, if the approach was going to be we're going to try to protect Stidham and win this game on defense, I just felt like that would have been a bad. And it did kind of feel like that was the way that they played it, aside from going for it on fourth down. Like,
Yeah.
the one thing I didn't have a problem with was the going for it on fourth down. I had a problem with almost everything else they did.
Right.
Yeah, I think because I like during one of the pre games, like how we were mentioning on last Thursday about, oh, I feel like he's gonna bring all the tricks out of the bag. Then I heard that again, like on the pregame, like Sunday morning, and I was like, did he get kind of spooked into not doing any of
Yeah.
that secret stuff because everybody thought that they were gonna do some secret shit?
Yeah, maybe. That would make sense. So why do you think that was a terrible, a stupid idea to go for it on fourth down?
So at the time, I knew he was gonna go for it. At the time, I said I took it as him being stubborn, trying to. So I'm not gonna play any different. I'm gonna play as if Drake May is out there. I don't care. I don't know. I look at painting like that. So that's why I'm like, but you don't have what's gonna
Knicks.
call it? Yeah, Knicks out there. So I don't know. I just like he's a backup. He doesn't look great. He had a couple completions here and there, but I don't know. I just like you got your backup, bro. And if that, and like you said, and if you're gonna go for it, I wouldn't. I don't know. The play call was ugly too, but I think he was a little stubborn. I thought it was him being stubborn, but then after realizing that there's a snowstorm coming, maybe he just felt like this is his only opportunity to get the points. But ultimately, that was the deciding factor. But not really. We don't know if that
No,
was the deciding
was
factor
it? I
because
don't think it was.
well, just because of the score, but
I think the missed
I
field
don't know.
goal was the deciding factor.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, that was bad too, man.
I think it was
But
just. I think it was just unfortunate that I would have liked if they would have at least, been able to be tied when the weather really got bad. Because
right.
it just felt like whoever had the lead
Everything
once
flipped.
those conditions became unplayable was going to win, no matter
Yeah.
who it was. Like if they would have been,
Right.
if Denver would have had the lead, once that field got unplayable, they could have done exactly the same. They could have played the game the same way the Patriots did, and they would have won. Like I just didn't feel like, I didn't feel like there was a real game being played. Like
Yeah. I felt like the running quarterback was gonna be the winner once that like
yeah, I just don't. I just feel like I understand what you're saying about you have a backup quarterback. I just personally never thought that was a good approach to the game. Like treating
right.
it like, oh, I
Yeah.
have to coach this game
Hmm.
and consider I have a backup quarterback. I just feel like that's coaching to lose. I feel like it was the AFC Championship game. You talked all this shit about you have this guy. He's been in the system forever. He's good. He's this. Watch out. Look out. Don't believe me. Just watch. All this bullshit.
Yeah.
And that none of that came true. He treated him like in a lot of ways, aside from going for it on that fourth down. I feel like that game was managed like he was trying to protect a incapable quarterback. And I just feel like there was no path to victory that included we're gonna protect Stidham. Like I feel like the only way that they were gonna win that game was to try to be aggressive and take advantage of like, you know, the lack of tape that the Patriots would have had on him and try to catch him by surprise. But trying to play this conservative win by a field goal type of game, I just feel like it wasn't the Patriots were going to make a play and win the game. Like you were going to have to make plays to win the game. I don't think that the Broncos defense was good enough, and I just don't think that I believe Vrabel would have found a way to win that game regardless if they were going to play. The only path to victory for the Broncos, in my opinion, was to try to be aggressive, try to put points on the board. And then, you know, obviously the weather changed all of that. But, like, just going into it, that's the approach that I thought would have made sense.
You say, I mean, I do feel like he was a little bit more. They were obviously he's the offensive guy, but I think they were a little bit more. They were more risky on defense with sending blitzes and all that stuff. So,
Denver.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, like I know what you're saying, but I kind of feel like the way that they did it was on the other side of the ball, like kind of. That was the way, like they were gonna try to get the ball. They were gonna try to get the ball back, either get a pick six, get the ball back in the red zone, and stuff like that. I just feel like, you know, like you said, like he tried to play it off.
But
like
Vrabel was never gonna do that. Like I feel like Vrabel was gonna go into that game like a counter puncher. Like we're not gonna give you any chance with our offense and with our young quarterback to take a stranglehold on the game. Let's see. I know
that's what you want us to do.
Yeah, like exactly. I think he's smart enough to know, like, you know, you got a backup quarterback. You prove to me that you're gonna do something with this backup quarterback. That we're gonna have to be aggressive and make plays. Because until then, we're gonna just coast to victory. And then obviously, you know, it played out perfectly in their hands once the weather started. But I felt like Vrabel was always gonna go into it with that approach, which is exactly why I felt like trying to win this game that we're gonna force them to make a mistake. Like, nah, man. But Vrabel don't coach that way. He don't coach them to make mistakes. He wasn't gonna go in there aggressive. He was gonna go in there with the most bare bones, basic shit. Nigga, you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was mad funny because I kept watching like Ramondre Stevenson and like his past, you know, his past struggles with even in the beginning, as much as recently as the beginning of the year, where he, you know, Vrabel stuck with him even like when he was fumbling in the red zone and everything like that. And I just kept seeing every time Hufanga, fucking Bonito, all of these guys, every time they were like winding up and trying to. And 49, I think his name is Singleton. It was 49.
Yeah, Singleton. Yep.
Yeah, he kept going, and I'm like, yo, at some point, like, either you're gonna get, because there was one where it was like, you know, like like a sucker punch. On one, it looked like they were doing a sucker punch because he winded and like galloped like 3 steps and then went to punch the ball, and it was like on the outside of the play, so it was like so evident like when he did it. I was like, it's not, you guys are gonna get a fucking penalty called against you guys, and it was just like, you know what, like, credit to Vrabel, man. I don't know what he did, and credit obviously to Stevenson, but whatever he did, man, he was not letting go of that ball for nothing.
No,
let me ask you guys, do you think Denver wins with Knicks if Knicks in the lineup? The way everything turned out?
Including with the way everything turned out.
No, everything with the weather, not the missed field goals, with the weather and
oh man, that's tough.
I think the game changes completely.
Hell yeah.
Oh well, that I definitely think. I think the game changes completely. I still feel like I don't know. I don't know because like I feel like I wish you would have asked me that before, because having the result in hand and having seen the approach that Peyton took to that game makes me lose confidence. Like I thought that the Broncos going into the game would have had a chance to win the game with Stidham, because I don't
Right.
think much of the Patriots.
Right.
But I feel like they would have had to have an aggressive game plan, and they would have had to try to get a lead and force the Patriots and their offense to make a play against your defense. Like, to me, if you didn't have a lead, you needed to be aggressive on offense until you could get a lead. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. No, I got you. Yeah.
Like, that was the way I looked at it from the Broncos standpoint. But now that I've seen the way that they managed the game, I feel like if that was going to be the approach, we're going to play conservative and try to be aggressive on defense and force the Patriots to make a mistake. I don't think they would have won that way with Knicks either, because the Patriots were not going to make a mistake in that game, whether it was Knicks or whether it was Stidham. But especially when it was Stidham. Like, they would have, they wouldn't have thrown one fucking pass until you put up points. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's how they were
Yeah.
going to do it. Like,
Yeah.
old school.
That's how Rainbow does. Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
why I was like, that's why I always felt like if Sean Payton's going to go into this game thinking he's going to, not take any chances on offense and protect the quarterback, that he's going to lose. So I don't know. I mean, I think they would have had a better chance with Knicks just because he would have been able to do more things with his legs in those
Right.
conditions. And
Right.
would have been, I think he would have put a little bit, just his presence would have probably put a little bit more pressure on the Patriots offense and
Hell
forced
yeah.
them to maybe
Yeah.
put the ball in danger or force them to try to make a play. But I don't know. I still don't know that I feel confident enough in that Broncos defense. Like, I still think they would have made a play. I think that there were plays to be made in that game in the first half that they didn't make.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to tell, but that's what sucks about
Yeah.
it, is that I feel like I got robbed out of a game because
We did.
because
1000%.
because not only did Knicks get injured, but even the
The
weather
weather.
and all that shit. It just I feel like we never even really. I feel like I didn't really get to see how it would have played out.
Right.
Like,
Right. No. Yeah.
even the way that it ended, I'm like, I don't know. Like, you if you're a fan of either team, you can make the case either way. A Broncos fan could sit here right now and say, yo, 100% we would have won with Knicks. They could confidently believe that.
Right.
And I don't know that
Right.
I would argue it. But at the same time, a Patriots fan could say, listen, if you had Knicks, we would have made
We would
the
have played
plays we
different.
needed to make. We just didn't need to make those plays, and our coaching staff is smart enough to not do anything stupid. And I could hear that case of it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the Patriots didn't need. There was very little required of them to win that game, and they were not going to take any chances to cost themselves a trip to the Super Bowl trying to
1000%.
get cute. So,
Right.
but if it came down to it, would they have put May in a position to make a play? I could argue that they would have. I think
They would have. Yeah.
I don't think May is great, but I think if he needed to make one play, if the coaching staff needed to put him in a position to make one play against a Denver
Hell yeah,
Broncos
they would've.
defense to win the game, I think they would have done it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I agree.
But fucked up, we never got to see it. But we will get to see it in the Super Bowl. Do y'all have you got your picks ready now, or you gonna do a little more deep diving and all that stuff? Do you have any thoughts about the spread or the total or the props or anything, or is that you nailing all that stuff down next week?
Next week, but I will say I'm glad that the spread isn't that large, only because me rooting against the Patriots, I didn't want that to be kind of a storyline that kind of fuels them. Like, if they're like
You rooting
8.5.
against them?
No. I'm saying, like,
Oh.
if it's like 8.5 or 9.5 points, it's like, oh, they could turn that around and say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, use it for
I feel like they're
motivation.
still gonna be on this "we against the world." Nobody thinks we're gonna win. type
Yeah, I
shit.
know, but it's like
I understand what you're saying, but the way that I feel like, at least for the first couple, like, for what is it, the first 5 days in since the NFC AFC Championship, I feel like these first 5 days, people are talking the way that people are talking about how much of a mismatch it is, and how I have not heard one person think that the Patriots are gonna win. They're talking as if it's like a 7-8 point spread. Like, if I didn't know what the spread was and I was just listening to the conversation about the way that people see the game, I would think it was like at least 6.5, 7 point spread.
Right.
And I feel like that's all the Patriots need to be like, oh, nobody's picking us, nobody thinks we're gonna win. Everybody's talking about our schedule and this and that. I feel like if whether this is the spread or if it gets bumped up, they're gonna find some way to to manufacture some motivation from this shit.
What do you think the spread's gonna be game day?
I don't know, man. Because I was so wrong on the AFC Championship spread. I couldn't believe that shit got down to 3.5 by kickoff. That was crazy. I could not believe that. I thought it was gonna go in the opposite direction.
What, the AFC?
Yeah. When that game ended, it was Broncos plus 3.5.
That's crazy.
And I was sitting there with Patriots minus 5.5. Like, I thought it was going to get closer to 6.5, with the backup quarterback. I thought that bit was going to get back closer to 6.5, 7 than it going down to 3.5. Like, people were really sipping up all that Jarrett Stidham Kool-Aid off the floor. They were drinking it with a straw. Fucking Sean Payton really sold that shit with his,
stuttering antics.
Just watch, because I didn't see it. Stidham looked real shaky.
Yeah, that two-hand chest pass was
he
fucking
threw
nuts.
two-hand chest passes.
Two of them shits. That was crazy. Lateral too, like perfect lateral. Like, I need this second hand to make sure I don't throw it up in front of me. I
gotta be honest. The first couple of quarters, his drop backs just did not look confident, man. Like, he was dropping back. As soon as the pressure came, he was dropping 6, 7, 8, 10 yards back. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's on the run.
When he ran for that first, I was like, no way this motherfucker makes that. I was shocked he made that first.
Well, that was the other thing. He had that. I don't know which run you're talking about, but he had that run where he went out of bounds and didn't get the first. And I was
no, he got the first.
Well, yeah, I think I remember the one where he got the first, but I feel like little shit like that makes the difference when you don't get those first downs. But
yeah.
So you're glad that it's not that big of a spread because you're going to take the Seahawks.
Yeah, probably. Wait to see.
Oh, detective work there. Detective work. Total.
The total could be anything. I'm going to take the under. But
yeah.
Like, if the total was 20, I would still take the under.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't see the Seahawks.
I wouldn't be shocked if this was another fucking 10-3 Patriots special like the one they gave us when they played the Rams.
You think so?
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. Because, like, let's put it this way. If Vrabel's going to take that same type of approach, they try to fucking just squeeze the air out of the ball and, we're not going to make any mistakes against this Seahawks defense flying all over the place. Let's see Sam Darnold beat my defense. We could be looking at the 3-0 at halftime.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, I think Vrabel's won the I don't want to even say benefit of the doubt. Is like the trust of his ability to kind of manipulate the game to what is kind of good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he goes into any game being like, okay, the Seahawks are going to score. They're probably going to put up this many points. We got to do this to, kind of keep up. It's almost
funny that you say that because he said the exact opposite. That's exactly what he does do. Goes into the games thinking about how many points they need and shit like that.
Well, no. Well, I'm just saying, like, putting the game plan, like, as if, like, to Chase. I feel like he puts his game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, what he's going to do, as opposed to countering what they think that they need to do to counter the other team.
Okay.
I mean, it's like I guess it's like kind of the chicken or the egg, but I feel like he implements how he wants the game to go, as opposed to sitting back and seeing how it's going.
And you think that he wants a high-scoring game?
No.
Okay, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
No, I was agreeing. That was my point. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that he's gonna want to play the game similar to the way that they played the AFC Championship game. Let's see you. And I can't help but think about the fact that this is the Ghostbusters game. This is the fucking team they fucking made us see ghosts. This is
Hey.
the resurrection, the exorcism for Sam Darnold right now. Like it's
Yeah.
We
full
were talking about
circle for him.
zombies earlier.
Back up against the ghosts, the ghosts of Patriots past.
Mm-hmm.
And also the payback for obviously nobody's there anymore that was there when they intercepted that Malcolm Butler intercepted that pass in the end zone. But it's like whichever way the game goes, it's gonna be like the redemption for this.
Yeah, what they should do is they should sign Marshawn Lynch to a one day contract and have him running the touchdown.
That was
Or
fucking crazy.
like a make a wish almost.
They fucking wish they could get him to do that. Like it's the fucking
Make a
man.
swish.
It's gonna be crazy, though.
So
I think it's gonna be
you're
a
gonna have all your props and everything next week. You're saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It's so ridiculous that a tight end scoring a touchdown is only plus 700 for the Patriots.
What do you mean?
Parkinson's fucked up my thing last week.
What do you mean?
I'm getting a touchdown.
A
Which
tight end.
and
No,
what do
no,
you
no,
mean?
no. No, I'm sorry. A linebacker scoring a touchdown.
It's only
For
700.
the Patriots is only plus 700.
Oh. Or do they know
Only
something we don't?
plus 700. You think it should
Yeah,
be
because
longer?
Vrabel. Yeah, of course. Because I mean, because Vrabel did it in.
No, I don't think it should be longer. I think that sounds about right. Plus 700.
Yeah, to catch a touchdown though.
Oh.
Like if you tell me, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it was to catch.
Where did you?
a
They have
touchdown
it specifically to catch.
I saw a screen. I saw a screenshot of it.
What sports book was this? Papito's Bets?
No, I think it was. I think it was DraftKings.
Papito's Sports Book? Where they
I
go
do think it
Papito's
was
Bodega.
down on a black and white marble book.
Right. Papito's
the old days.
Bodega. Right.
Super Bowl. Oh, going back because you were actually talking about the
I like Sam Darnold to score a touchdon. That's a good price. 10 to
Yo,
1.
yeah, like a Fernando Mendoza
I
style.
thought about
touchdown.
that shit last week. I was like, yo, I haven't seen Sam Darnold run a touchdown in a little minute.
I mean, I don't think he's going to run one in. I don't think he's going to run at all. But that type of, at minimum, here's what I guarantee you. He's going to touch the ball. He'll be on the field and he'll have the ball in his hand. If anybody who you can guarantee me is going to be on the field with the ball in their hand at plus 1,000, I feel like that's a gift.
I wouldn't mind the Drake.
And this
May,
is coming from somebody who
Sam
bet
Darnold.
Matt Stafford's over on rushing. And oh my God, when he did that one goofy scramble, I jumped up. Yeah!
Was it like 0.5 his rushing? yard?
Yeah, 0.5. He just needed 1 yard. That shit was plus 225.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, yo, we gotta take a flyer on this. Is a do or die game. If he needs to get a yard, he's not gonna fucking take a knee and not get it. And then sure enough, he fucking mad slow motion. I could hear that you know that music.
He had mad space.
You know that shit
Yeah.
when they're running. I could hear that shit
Creaking
playing.
in his fucking knees.
Nah, yeah, he did have mad space though.
Yo, but you were talking about the bad. I actually hit. Oh, it was funny because you said that there was a bunny on the Bad Bunny shirt and hoodie thing, his collection.
Yeah.
When I saw that it came out, I actually ordered the hoodie and the actual keychain. I mean, it was a little overboard, but it was mainly because
so I was saying that Cheeks copped and you were the one that really copped.
yeah, but that but
And
I
you
was
were just
having
keeping
my
it on the low, keeping it quiet.
no, I was having my
Fine.
communication issues. I couldn't respond.
I'm on to you, buddy.
He came clean. Yeah.
So
he
what's the
said, "Fuck
difference of me saying it now and fucking a half hour ago?
There is no.
You
The
feel
difference is I get to
feel
say
safe.
I'm onto you, buddy. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I knew you were doing that, and I'm right.
Wait, I'm watching
Nah,
you,
but
buddy.
because when it his album first came out, he dropped the title track for his the title track for the album he dropped that song with a video that was like almost like a little mini movie, and I fucking loved that video. And he had even
Oh
my
yeah, I
son
think I've
liked
seen
it.
it.
Even my son loved it. It was a it was a coquille. It was
Right.
a fucking, and his
Frog.
name was Concho. His name was Concho, and he was mad funny, like the way he talked and everything, because it was like he was imagining a friend, and like even like the video was mad. Like I loved the video. It was like emotional and all that shit. So that little cartoon character, my son liked it because I would make fun of him saying that that was him, because there was one part where he was like, "Yo como que tengo hambre," and I would say that to my son because he's always hungry. So I so when all of that merch came out for the album, I was gonna order it, but you know, like sometimes you open up tabs, and then even like what you were saying with the watching, like your watch list on eBay, or like you go back to it and you like to leave it there, whatever. You know, sometimes I open up tabs and I get back to it eventually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lose interest, but I leave it. So I didn't end up ordering any of that stuff. But since I liked that little cartoon,
Yeah.
I was like, left it. And then when this shit came out and they had all 32 teams,
Also, they do have the
first they,
Giants shit. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, well, because you're a Giants fan, so that's why you got it. I thought that there was only three teams because I got the Jets, and I thought it was just the Seahawks, the Patriots, and the Jets. You know, on my side,
Me too.
a
Me too. I thought
coincidence.
the same shit.
No, I'm joking.
But then I looked
Uh,
for it. I didn't see. I didn't see. I only saw Patriots and fucking thing. I didn't even see the other one. But
nah. So they had all the teams, and obviously they had the Concho on the front with a Jets shirt,
nice
and but see on the back it has the full logo, like the full size logo on the back.
with the bunny and all that shit. All the Jets.
No, there's no bunny.
Oh,
It's a
the
it's
Jets
a
logo.
concho. It's a frog. No, the back is a Jets logo. The front is the bunny with the
Got you.
Jets shirt on.
Got you. Got you.
So I ordered that and the keychain little plush animal. I had to,
Fire.
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 because then it killed two stone. It killed. See, for me, it killed two
Yeah.
stones
Hmm.
because it was the Jets and it was the concho, and obviously Bad Bunny's my nigga. I like what he stands for and everything that he does, and
Nah,
I like
communist.
comunista. It's different. But also being able to not so subtly, you know, represent my side, and especially like, you know, because obviously what you were talking about, Bobby H, with the with your grandma
Yeah.
and all the anti Bad Bunny stance. So for me, kills two birds, one stone. It's a very efficient. It's to me, it's an efficient purchase. And also, I was gonna buy some merch from that album anyway before, so perfect.
Perfect. Now you get it, and
Nice
you
and
get
nice.
you get the Jets connection too.
Lord, yeah.
So
That's
you're
it.
gonna
I
get the
gotta look.
Giants one.
I'm gonna look into it now that he's saying that. I'm gonna look into it.
All right, and you're gonna have your pick and your bets and your props and everything for next week too.
Yeah, I think that's the best route.
I think Flex is gonna take Mac Hollins anytime touchdown. That's what I think. Top of the list.
Whack
Oh shit.
Hollins.
How many
Oh
shoes
shit.
is Mac Hollins gonna wear in the tunnel to the game? That should be a prop bet that you could bet on. One,
I mean,
two, or
Right.
zero.
he should just stand on business and play without fucking cleats.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah,
He's a
right.
coward.
Imagine.
He's such a fake character too.
Yo, that was such a yo, bro. That was so he tried so hard on that shit. That shit was fucking
That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying. Like if it's like, you know, like Vince Wilfork wearing the overalls, you know, comic relief. It's funny. He's a big dude, whatever. Part of his persona. This nigga literally just like looks like, you know, like, you know, the dude that researches something cool to do.
Hmm.
Like that's all the vibes that he gives.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
Like what's some cool rock music to listen to? And then like he'll listen to that.
Well, there you have it. We'll have full prepared. We got to do our parlay next week. We got to put together the parlay. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the Super Bowl parlay last year. Maybe we do more than one this year. I had a very nice parlay on Championship Sunday. Nice little tutty parlay that capped off with Cooper Kupp. Man, when Cooper Kupp scored, it was beautiful. I knew Cooper Kupp was going to score in that
Colby
game.
Parkinson fucked my shit up.
Yo, me too. I had no lie. I had Cup over receptions. I had touchdown. Cup. I had Parkinson's touchdown. I had Seahawks.
Parkinson was like plus 25, over 25 yards. It was either.
Yo, that was the only one that didn't hit. I think I had Rams cover. At the time it was 4.5, and then I had Seahawks winning. I think the only one that didn't hit was Park.
Yeah, no, I just bet the stars, man. I had Puka, Devontae, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker touchdowns. All 4 of them.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Fuck,
I mean,
man.
when they score 65 points, it's like, yeah, probably the big guys are gonna fucking,
Yeah,
put in work for you.
that works.
Wish I would have thought of that.
You thought of it all
Sometimes
fucking
you get
year
too
long,
cute.
Mr. Fucking Touchdown Bets.
Word.
You thought of it all year. You're the touchdown king.
Yeah, no. I probably
Well,
would've
actually,
picked
maybe
two
I think it was a team effort. It was you and your son. I feel like I can't give you sole credit because I know that he had a couple good calls on there, so we got to shout him out.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we will bring it back next week. We got nothing for the Pro Bowl, right?
What's the Bowl?
Are they gonna announce Coach of the Year with this NFL honor shit too? We didn't do any of the coaching stuff. Yeah, I don't care, right? Like any of the coaching hires, we spent the whole last show talking about this guy. So
I put in a future for Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in a future for Kevin Stefanski, first coach fired.
Might both be right.
No, I think he has a better job at coach, a better chance at Coach of the Year than first coach fired. But I don't know, man. I don't know that Kevin Stefanski does not feel very Atlanta to me. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
What do you mean? They call him Kevin Stefanski.
What?
Right. So fuck?
What?
The land key?
They call him what?
Kevin Stefanski.
Oh.
What do you mean? Everybody calls him that. I don't understand.
Everybody calls him
Why
that.
you looking at me crazy?
Oh, the one thing. Okay, we're not gonna do coaches. There's one last thing I want to touch on. Mike McCarthy.
Pause.
Mike McCarthy.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
Great hire by the Steelers. Great job. Great job just leaning into how ridiculous of an organization they have become. I mean, just a joke. Like,
Yeah.
But the one good thing about the Mike McCarthy hire, I will say. Oh, shit, I forgot. You know what? I'm going to tie this all together. I'm going to tie this all together because I have a top 5 unserious NFL organizations.
Ooh.
Where's my list? I had all my reasoning behind it, too. Almost forgot about this shit. But the one good thing about the Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy, with that hire, the Steelers single-handedly keep the fat coach alive. Congratulations to the fat coaches out there. Because we lost Dable. The only one grandfathered in is Andy Reid. That's it.
Yep.
They're not hiring fat coaches anymore.
Right.
When Tomlin gets hired, he will be the next fat coach when he comes back. Because when he first got hired, he wasn't a fat coach, but now he's a fat coach.
But he might not be fat when he comes back.
If he comes back,
He's gonna be 10 times fatter. You think he's going the other direction? Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like, you
never know.
the timeline for Mike Tomlin. it doesn't go up and down. The arrow just goes straight up. He's just been getting bigger every year. He's getting maybe he's been getting more
might be done.
comfortable, and maybe he's gonna take the year off and
I think
start
it
hitting the
depends where he
gym or
lives.
something.
Yeah.
I think he lives in Pittsburgh. No, you think he's gonna move?
Ooh.
I don't know, but all I know is that until he gets hired, we're not hiring fat coaches anymore. So at least Mike McCarthy keeps the fat coach hire alive, because once Andy Reid is out, he's gonna be the last of the Mohicans. They're not doing fat coaches no more. And to be honest with you, the next team that hires a fat coach, I'm gonna look at them away because they're not doing that no more. And nobody hiring fat coaches no more.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, let's see how
any fat coaches in the league?
Nah, you're right. Let's see how Dable does in Tennessee with Saleh over there, though.
I'm talking about head coaches. That's the other thing.
No, I know. I'm saying he might get another opportunity over there after Tennessee if he does well over there. I don't know. I like that hire. I like that combination, Saleh and Dable. He's giving him the keys to the offense. I feel like that's the closest thing to a head coaching spot right there. What Dable just got. Like, he's gonna run that offense.
Is that a
you know
good
what
thing?
I think so. I mean, my knock on him wasn't that he wasn't. I mean that he can't be a head coach as far as like running the whole team. But
now they have two players coaches that are famous for not running hard practices, hard training camps, and coming out slow. So
no, he runs up the stairs in the stadium. That's all you need to run.
yeah.
Who needs a hard practice when you're running up the stairs before the practice?
Right. He's too busy being hard on himself. He's fucking.
Maybe they just can't hear him from up there.
His dick is too hard, and he has all them kids. He's too busy being hard in the bedroom, nigga.
I think he's running away from pussy. That's what I think that's what he's doing, running up all those goddamn stairs.
If I'm not doing this, I'm having more kids. I gotta be up here running more.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, but my top 5 most unserious NFL franchises.
Ooh, top 5.
Top 5. Number 5.
Can I get some music? I
don't have top 5 music, but I'll put some music. Oh no, wait! I do have top 5 music.
There you go.
You're looking for the number one
See,
spot.
It would have been good to have your little effects there, Flex.
Yeah, I know.
One. Like fucking Colin does that, doesn't he? Where Colin was right.
Oh, God.
But you can have the numbers. 5.
I had this shit. Damn. I had top 5 music, and now I can't find it.
Fuck it. Top 5 that are alive, and that's up one album.
Oh, this is whack. Where's the shit? I had it too. Oh well, I'll have to put something else. Damn, where is this shit?
Excuse me.
Oh wow.
Sound like a sound effect.
I got my thing here, pressing buttons too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forget it. I can't find it.
Woohoo!
Number 5, the Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh.
The Colts got to be on the list because, I mean, that whole fiasco with this guy Rivers was just too much. You can't.
Oh my God.
With Phillip Rivers fiascos. So Colts go on the list at number 5. Unfortunately, like I feel bad because I like a lot of the things that we're all a fan, I believe, of Carly Ursay, but there were some decisions made at the end of the year that just came out a little bit desperate, a little lacking in seriousness from me. So they go number 5 for me on my list. Number 4.
Yeah, cool.
The New York Jets.
Ah, damn, man! I thought we were number 1.
No, sorry. So I mean, obviously the Jets needed to be on the list, but I actually think just considering all factors, sort of where they are and what the expectations are, I think there's some teams that should be a little bit higher. Number 3, the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, if number one overall pick, you kind of got to be on the list. And just I don't know that the Pete Carroll hiring made any real sense to me. It seemed like they were a team that like was really trying to win now, and they went from like team that's going aggressively into trying to win immediately to like a complete teardown rebuild in like 5 minutes. Very strange. And just the way that they've operated that franchise over the last couple of years has just been kind of a joke. So
Right.
they get to be number 3 on the list. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh wow, twist.
Why is that a twist? This is the
I
whole
was
thing that
expect-
reminded me about this list. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not serious at all. I mean, when you hire Mike McCarthy, a guy who couldn't sniff a job, I mean, to me, that's the biggest. Say what you want about him as a coach. I actually don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's the right guy for the Steelers right now. But I don't think that he shouldn't have gotten a job. I think he was worthy of getting a job somewhere. But just for the Steelers, I mean, you want to give me this whole song and dance about this love affair of story that he's from Pittsburgh. I don't care about that. To me, if you're hiring
first time
guys,
I heard of it.
if you're hiring guys because they're local as opposed to because they're the right guy for the job, that to me is that defines I'm not taking this serious. So
Right.
That to me, that's how they end up on the list because the two most recent moves that they made, trying to find their future quarterback and trying to find their future head coach, were based on geography and not how fucking well they can play or coach. And to me, that's a joke. So Steelers get to be number 2 on the list. And number 1, drum roll, the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
The Buffalo Bills are ridiculous. Everything that's happening there or that has happened there in the last week has been hilarious to me, but the opposite of anything like a franchise that I would be taking serious would be doing. They're a team that had, for the last few years has been Super Bowl expectations, obviously MVP quarterback. And everything that they've done outside of the way that they've managed that franchise has been the opposite of seriously seizing the opportunity that they have. I mean, doing this whole dog and pony. If I'm going to put the Colts on 5 on the list for having Phillip Rivers play quarterback a few games, having the Saint whatever the fuck head coach interview for the job, and then the interview itself was not serious. That's a joke. You brought in Phillip Rivers. To me, when they brought in Phillip Rivers, I thought, oh, they got to hire him. Or why would you interview him if you're not seriously considering hiring him? I mean, he's not even like he's a guy. Like, sometimes these organizations, they do these head coach interviews because, we're going to get information out of him. He's from the rival fucking division team or some bullshit. What fuck information is Phillip Rivers going to give you? He was in a locker room for a month in the last 5 years. Like, he has no information. I don't know what the hell that was, that interview, but it was a joke. It couldn't have been serious. None of the interviews were serious. I don't know why they brought in Mike McDaniel. They ended up settling on a guy that was already there. They promote the GM, who I think was more problematic than the coach that they fired. I just think the Bills are just a total joke. I think the comments by the owner talking about we didn't want Keon Coleman. We did want Keon Coleman. It wasn't me. It was him. Oh, nah, it was really him. And exactly. The fingers are pointing all over the place. They got more extra arms to point extra fingers over here. I mean, the Bills are a joke. They're a disgrace. And not only that, I will forever not fuck with the Bills because what they're doing to the fans, the season ticket holders, and overcharging for this new stadium that they're building in Buffalo, those fans who have been so loyal and dedicated to that team, for so many of them to get screwed over the way that they have. And I'm looking at you, Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, my fucking state, because she had a lot to do with that shit getting approved because she's a local gal and she fucking hoodwinked all those local Buffalo people into paying for that piece of shit stadium that they're not even going to be able to afford to go watch a fucking game in. So
yeah, he put them she put them in a Hulk hold.
Right.
I can't top that.
Perfect.
We leave you with that. That's
Hey,
my
and
top
I will
five.
say, real quick, that's why they're not a New York team. Because if they were a real New York team, that shit would have been plastered all over the place, and you would have heard nonstop about that disaster on the radio, TV for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
That's a good point.
That right? When people say, "Oh, the only New York team," that's reason number one that they're not a real New York team.
Yeah, not in Zoran Mamdani's New York, that's for sure.
No.
And with that being said, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Salute.
All right, the stream is dead.